Hey everyone, it's Geldy again from Princeton Mortgage, and today I have Dustin Droen with Lockhart Bailey Group, which is with Guide Real Estate. Hey Dustin, how are you?
I am fabulous, Kelly. How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
So Dustin and I probably met, I think it's been almost a year.
yeah.
We met at Placer County Board of Realtors, maybe at one of the YPN or one of those networking groups.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how you
And
get to know those people, right? You got to go to those things.
yeah, every
Yeah,
Tuesday, and then whenever those events happened. And I don't know, I think we became good friends right away. We always have good conversations.
we do. We
So
do. We always have something to talk about. I think, we're both positive mindset people, and I think we're both doing the best we can in this crazy market, right? So we
yes.
have to stay. You have to back each other up and kind of keep each other afloat. And I think you and I do a good job of that. So it's always nice to have a friend in the business that you can kind of turn to and have as your sounding board and just share stuff with. So that's it. So it's nice to have you as a friend, Kelby, for sure.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I heard you need 12 hugs a day.
Oh.
And so I always look forward to your hugs on Tuesday morning.
Aw.
It's one of
Well,
my
my
12 for the
my
day.
hu my hugs are worth two hugs
Okay.
today.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on here with me. And, we just want to get to know you a little more. I know you, but I want everyone else to get to know you. So just tell us a little bit about you and your real estate business, how you got started, what you're doing now.
sure. Well, in a nutshell, I've been in real estate for a really long time. I actually have had my real estate license since 2003 and started out in commercial real estate as a leasing broker for a local company around here. And then fast forward 17 years, things have changed a little bit. Um, I had to make some adjustments. COVID came along, and then the company just kind of downsized some people, and there were some other things that happened. A tragedy in the company that I worked for forced me kind of away from commercial real estate, so I had to pivot in 2020, and fell into residential real estate. So in 2020, I also got divorced, so that was fun, and the people that sold my house were Mike and Emily. So when things turned around, I had to and no one was hiring for in commercial real estate at the time. So I had to kind of, I don't know, get creative, called Emily and asked her if residential was something I should look into. And so the rest was history. And I signed up for as a realtor that I don't know, that week, and didn't know anything about selling a house in 2020. And yeah, so I'm still doing it 3 years later, actually, almost to the day, 3 years later. So I'm still on that team, and have been the beneficiary of a lot of great things from being on that team and training and all that stuff. So it's been a really good experience for me, I'd say.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I know you've been killing it the last couple months, and I know it's all your hard work is paying off.
thanks.
I know you work with a lot of buyers. What is your advice to buyers right now in this current market with the interest rates where they're at? And, prices really haven't softened as much as we thought they would with rates
Mhm.
going up. So what's your advice when you take your buyers around?
Um, the biggest advice I could say is don't listen to the media as much, if you can. Yes, pay attention to things, but if you have to buy a house, you have to buy a house. I would say take a look at the cost of what is it costing you to not buy a house? What is the long-term effect of you? Like we call it the cost of waiting, right? So what does that really look like? And then build relationships with your realtor and your lender, and we all just want to help each other. And I think if you grow that partnership, that relationship with those people that you feel that you can trust, ask a lot of questions. Those are, I think that's invaluable right now. So I guess that would be it. And then, yeah, be a little cautious, but also don't be so fearful that it causes you to not make a move on the house that you want. I mean, the difficulty right now is obviously there's very little inventory. So um, when you do find the house that maybe has 75, 85% of what you're looking for, I would say, why not take a shot at it and see what you can do? You might be able to get a good deal on it. In this day and age, you might ask for some credits, those kinds of things that are kind of more technical. But being able to, uh, just kind of trust hopefully you have a good agent that works for you, and I'm one. But you know, ask the questions, don't be too afraid, and kind of put your blinders on in terms of what's really happening in the world right now. Because I think at the end of the day, if you can afford that to buy a house, maybe you have to lower your expectations a little bit, but if you can afford it, and the house is the right house for you, then absolutely, go forward, write the offer.
I agree, especially, I have so many clients waiting for rates to come down. And I'm trying to tell them, hey, when rates come down, the competition's even going to get crazier.
Yeah.
I can't promise them that rates are going to come down anytime soon. So just be committed to that payment. But hey, we can refinance you definitely if they do come down.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be pretty crazy out there when even if rates drop to 5, I think competition is gonna be pretty tough. So
Yeah, but I mean, I think for me, and again, when working with buyers, it's like if you're in the right position to buy a house, and you're shopping in the right price range, and you find the house that that you really love, if you're pre-approved and you're shopping within your budget or below your budget, you've got some leverage. You can write a strong offer and take it down. So I think if you're willing to buy a house in this market, the sellers are willing to work with you. So take a shot, take a chance. There's no skin off your nose if you just by writing an offer and see how it goes. Yeah. Even if it's a throwaway offer, let's say, like it could be, hey, let's just see what happens. Throw this up against the wall and see if it sticks. If it doesn't, that's okay. At least now what it feels like to write an offer, and there's a benefit in that too, I think.
what were we just saying? Rejection is protection. If they get
Yes,
rejected, it wasn't meant to be, and
that's
there's
it.
something else out there for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So tell us, I'm hoping you're going to share something that I know about you, but tell us something we don't know about you that you would like to share.
Oh man, there's so many things, Geldy. The thing that you and I talk about frequently is a lot of people don't know I have a podcast. I've been have had a podcast for almost 2 years now. It's called the X-Men Roundtable, and what we are is we're a panel of 5 divorced dads, and it started out with just us having this kind of Facebook. We met through Facebook. We started out as a Zoom mastermind group, kind of a thing where one of the guys that I was talking to kind of introduced me to this group of guys they were just having chit chats about like life after divorce, all dads, different ages and different age demographic, different stages of post-divorce and all that. And so I got in on this conversation. We started talking, and one day I said, it would be interesting to turn this into a podcast. And they were older than me, so they were like, what do you mean? What is this podcast you speak of? And I said, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. So I kind of built the format of it, and reintroduced to the group and said, all right, let's just keep having these conversations. We're going to come up with something to talk about. And then when we come up with the topic, one of us whoever the host is of the Zoom right then will hit the record button, and we'll just go for 20 minutes and see what happens. And what happened was we come up with these really, I think, compelling conversations, to be honest. I think the 5 of us are very different. Like I said, we're all from different backgrounds, and I'm here in Sacramento. We got a guy up in Medford, Oregon. I got a guy in St. Louis, Missouri, a guy in Boston, Massachusetts, and a guy over in England. And so the 5 of us have very different perspectives on things, on life, not necessarily even about divorce. We just talk about life in general, but like from our own perspectives as divorced fathers. But we don't always just talk about like divorce, and it's very uplifting, kind of. We're trying to help people along, I think. So anyway, that's a thing that most people don't know about me, I suppose. It's called the X-Men Roundtable. You can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify. I think there's like 6 different platforms that we're on right now. So check it out if you want.
Well, now looking back, I think that's kind of how we connected, and you shared your podcast with me, and I listened to it and just really appreciated it. I think it might have been even the episode I listened to, but you guys, it was just refreshing to hear men be vulnerable and emotionally available. Being that you're older chaps. Because
I'm the youngest in the group. I'm the youngest guy in the group.
I say
So
chaps because you do have that English guy on
we
there.
do. He's wonderful to listen to. He's just
I
easy
do. I
to
love
get.
English
Yeah.
accents. Australian too.
Yeah.
But it was just really refreshing. And and I think we also connected because I was recently divorced in 2022. So like I said, it was just a really good podcast. And I think I'm part of your your Phoenix Facebook group too, right?
Yeah. So that's another thing I have I have this Facebook group on Facebook called the Phoenix Group. And that was actually how I got into the podcast. Was I was trying to recruit people into my Facebook group. And all this stemmed from the whole divorce, which is kind of a traumatic situation, right, in people's lives. And so it was the Phoenix Group thing was kind of the introduction to the guy that got me involved with the podcast. And what that is just, it was just a place for me to create on the internet. It was an outlet for me to be kind of positive minded and positive, thinking forward. And I have this acronym on there called PEACE, which stands for pivot. What's the E stand for?
Yeah, what does it stand for?
Pivot. Shoot, hold on. I have it. Anyway, pivot, expand, attract, cultivate, and evolve. So those are the 5 kind of things that I kind of leaned on, and like it was easy for me to kind of quantify those things as I grew out of a divorce. And then, flipping out of divorce into what we're dealing with today in today's market and the way things are, people's mindsets and people's kind of attitudes about how things are in the world right now, economically or financially or whatever our case may be, personally and professionally. I think it's hard to stay positive sometimes and to stay kind of keep your feelings in check with things. And so for me, that's a really big part of who I am and what I do and what I bring to my business, and how I show up with my clients and with my teammates and with all my colleagues that all around me. So if you see me at PCAR, if you see me at a YPN event or whatever, I hope I'm positive and I hope I help you along the way. And I'm trying to just kind of be that, because when you can kind of share that and help other people, it helps you feel like you're like you're serving and you're giving. And so yeah, that's a big part of who I try to be in my life and in going in all aspects of my life, to be honest. So
yeah. And for me too, just living authentically and being who I am, because you can't really change who you are, right, deep down. And if you want to change, you have to make the change. No one can do it for you, and you can't change other people. But
yeah,
I mean, that's what I appreciate about you and our friendship, that I can always throw things at you and get your perspective on it and clarity. And you're always there to just be positive. And I just really appreciate you and your friendship. So
thank you. I appreciate yours too.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. But if you, like I said, if anyone out there is watching this or hears this or whatever, you see me, just come say hi. It's fine. I'm good. I'm happy to
He
say
sits in
hi.
the front row, people, so you're gonna have to go in the front row.
I do. Well, you don't have to come to the front row. You can. I'll come to you. Whatever you want. But don't be afraid to come say hi. I love to chat and you know, introduce myself and get to know you a little bit better. It's all about relationships, right? So yeah,
Well, again, thank you, Dustin, for being here with me today. And I'll see you around over at PCAR or YPN, right?
I will be around. Yes,
Because we
ma'am.
are young at heart. We're allowed to go to the
That's it.
YPN networking.
Exactly. Yep, I know. I mean, you can't tell from the hair, but yeah, I'm young at heart for sure. All
Thanks, Dustin. Have a
right,
great day.
Geldy. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.